Philippine Institute of Certified Quantity Surveyors or PICQS brings you PICQS APC Talks channel or Patch. Join your hosts AJ Paredes and Abraham Ruedas as they share with you an exclusive live interview with PICQS National Vice President, Engineer Jose Carlo Padilla. We will give your Sunday morning a dose of APC as he shares his career journey and APC experience from a candidate and assessor's perspective. All these and more on Sunday, 12 May, 11 a.m. Manila time.
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. I'm Arlene Joy Paredes, or AJ, current National Secretary and Board of Trustee of PICQS, and I'm delighted once again to welcome all of you on our 17th session of Patch. So, PICQS APC Talks channel is here to provide overviews about chartered and certified professionals' APC journey, PICQS structured trainings, and every quantity surveyor's road to becoming QS professionals to maximize their career potential. So, to join me in hosting today's patch, let me call to our virtual stage PICQS External Committee all the way from Edmonton, Abraham Ruedas. Okay, hi, Abraham.
Hello, AJ. It is indeed my pleasure to be your co host here in Patch today. It's nice to be here for the first time and excited to look back and share our featured guest's career journey, which both of us have witnessed while we were still undertaking the PICQS structured trainings way back in Singapore.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the reasons why this session gets even more exciting. Having PICQS as our like playground or the ground where everything started. Why don't you share with us more about PICQS and its structured trainings?
Certainly, AJ. So, the Philippine Institute of Certified Quantity Surveyors is an all Filipino QS organization with a global reach. This year, turning 13, PICQS has formed 10 chapters around the globe in Philippines, UK, UAE, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, North America, Singapore, and for APAC chapters, we have members residing in New Zealand, Australia, Brunei, Indonesia, and Cambodia. To patch up the needs and raise the value of the profession, PICQS offered structured trainings from level 1 to level 3 and conducts its own APC. With a level of training received by our members through structured trainings and CPDs, PICQS was recognized by other professional bodies where mutual recognition are in play. So wherever you are in the world, membership grade can be recognized by other professional bodies like the RICS, AIQS, NZIQS, and CIQS, to name a few.
That's a very good feedback, and then I'm encouraging everybody to maximize the benefits of being a member of PICQS. So speaking of trainings, we have an upcoming hybrid CPD hosted by PICQS Philippine chapter entitled Overview and Principles of Various Forms of Contract. This will be on 29th of June, 1 to 5 p.m. Manila time. This is a CPD event where we wouldn't want to miss as we will have three keynote speakers, Lester Anbayot, Asuncion Lopez, and Silver De La Rosa, to demonstrate their strong aptitude on their respective topics, namely Introduction to NEC Contract, Introduction to FIDIC Suite of Contracts, and Introduction to CIAP Document 102. We also have a global CPD. This is going to be a full online event hosted by UAE Oman chapter on 26th of May entitled How to Put the Best Foot Forward in Arbitration. And also on 2nd June, a face-to-face event in Dubai on contract management, managing the supply chain, and mitigating liabilities. So for further details on the events and how to register, please visit the PICQS Facebook and LinkedIn page.
All right, without further ado, allow me to introduce our featured guest, the incumbent PICQS National Vice President who currently heads the PICQS ECRB and the ESG Group. He was a former Singapore chapter secretary, and former Global Communications Committee member. His passion in education led him to accepting the role as the head of ECRB. He is no stranger to educational pursuits and career development. He has a Master of Laws in Construction Law and Arbitration and currently taking up law in the University of Sydney. Wow. He's both PICQS and RICS assessor and actively mentoring APC candidates. A corporate member of PICQS, chartered member of the RICS, and a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. Let us all welcome none other than Jose Carlo Padilla.
Yes,
Hello,
welcome
J-
to Patch.
Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. From where we are in the world today. Musta?
Yes,
How are you doing there in Melbourne? Hello, hello, Melbourne.
Hello, Melbourne.
yes.
Today, medyo we're getting some good weather today, so medyo sunny. The temperature is around 17 degrees. We rarely get this during winter, so it's good.
Wow. Same here in
Great to hear.
Edmonton. Speaking of weather, we are in the middle of spring, 17 degrees Celsius as we speak.
Okay,
Nice.
here is at the moment it's 17 degrees, 3 p.m. in the afternoon in Auckland. And were you guys able to witness the aurora borealis or aurora australis last night?
Oh.
No.
Okay,
No, medyo,
my wife and kids extremely enjoyed it. Yeah, they got selfies and photos from our balcony with the
nice.
freezing
Perfect.
aurora at the background. So yeah, they were really extremely enjoyed that they forgot to wake me up.
That's too bad.
Okay. It's unfortunate that you were asleep, but then you can go and then check the photos because they're all lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really nice to see
Yep.
both of you this time here in Patch, and we are going to do another sharing about Jose's case study entitled, and that would be later on. No? And the
Mhm.
title of your case study is Procurement of a Design and Build Renovation Contract.
Yep.
This was which year? When was this?
I
I
This was
2021.
yep, I think this was around 2019, 2020, and
20.
then it was really fresh when I used it as a case study in my APC. So it's been a
Before
while.
the
I mean,
pandemic.
yep, it feels like it was just yesterday, but it's been a while. I think around 4 or 5 years ago.
Mhm. 5 years. Yes, so it was a magical 5 years. I think we would be able to see and hear from you firsthand what happened after the APC journey. And Abba and I were witnesses of how you've gone through your APC. And we were at that time, we were all together in Singapore. No? Those were the
Yes,
days.
those were the days. Happy days.
That was during the
Happy days.
pandemic.
Yep.
Yes. Did you guys foresee that one of those days we will all be apart? You'll be in Melbourne, you'll be in
Oh,
Canada.
Uh,
never thought of that.
I thought of it. I did not expect it to come really really soon. Because going during those days we already have our plans of going away or moving away from Singapore, but we did not expect it to be that soon.
Hmm. But it's
And you
really
were the
nice.
first. You were the first to leave us.
Abraham, yes.
Yeah, true.
No, it's you. It,
No.
Arlene, you were the first one. You were the first one, and
Was I the
then
first one? I moved in August 2022.
Yeah, I moved in.
and then you left me there because I left Singapore in
Yeah,
March of 2023.
back then I can still
Ah,
remember. You still remember during our
Uh,
trainings, you have to bring the water, bottled water. Imagine
yes,
carrying two
yes, yes,
dozens
yes.
of bottled
Yep,
water,
yep,
gasping for air to enter the training room.
yep,
There's part
yep.
of the
so
time
the
that you are the one who's speaking, and then after few minutes, you are distributing the bottled water to the trainees.
Yes, yes.
that was the
Yeah, look,
dedication, no?
those are the days when we have to operate the organization among ourselves, just literally. Some of us are carrying the water at the same time, going to speak in the event, or during the PCT, and then buying I remember Claire and Diane
Refreshments,
during
no?
those days,
Yes.
buying food for us to eat during PCT, and then just basically doing everything. And then
Yeah.
one when I completed my PCT as the official water boy, then I think Abba took
I
over
took over.
took over the role. And then I think it was Silver for a time. So
Yeah.
those are the
So
days of really fun days, happy days.
so we need to be a water boy before you can
Yes,
pass your APC. I think now that's
yes.
a requirement.
Yeah, because looking back, Abba, me, and Silver eventually became chartered surveyors after after bringing and fetching the water for everyone. So
So was that a requirement?
I think
But
so.
I part of that servant, that's servant leadership to me, what I saw during those days, because I think amongst us three I was the last one to be PICQS member, and then
Mhm,
after some time we all became trainers, and then we have this training part of a service to PICQS also help us to have this continuous training, no,
mhm,
like the knowledge will be kept there, like it won't go away because you keep on
mhm.
hearing it, you keep on delivering it, and then you become chartered and certified quantity surveyors.
Exactly. And I think that shows dedication as well, and the desire to progress, because you're willing to do everything, just for the sake of the training to push through. I remember there were training sessions during that time where I think it's just me and I think just me and Lang who is delivering P3T during that time. And then eventually I saw how PICQS grew, and then slowly I turned over the teaching role to you, to Abba, and to everyone who completed PTT. So yeah, I mean
Mhm.
it's amazing to look back and see where we are at now.
Yes, and to date, after 5 years, you're still mentoring, you're still sharing, you're still
Yes, yes,
teaching.
Yeah.
It's
Imagine the
yeah.
dedication.
it's
In
already
in different capacities.
from Waterboy
It's
to
still
now
there.
mentoring and then honing. Who wouldn't know how many APC candidates you have on your hand right now? I mean, doing the rounds of mentorship,
I think all in
mock.
all, I was a part of APC journeys of quite a number. I think it will be a very conservative estimate would be around 5 or 6,
That's good to
directly and
hear.
indirect, involvement. But so
Mm-hmm.
far, I've counseled 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we got one successful candidate. So
Do you
let's see.
consider me one of those candidates? I think I was your first candidate. Yeah.
No,
My
I
counselor is
consider.
silver. My counselor is silver.
Yep.
But yes, I always say, you are my second counselor. But you
We
are my
were
Oh,
pulling we were pulling each other during that time, because it was during the pandemic where we are doing our APC while the world around us is crumbling and burning, and we don't know what will happen
yes.
next. And we have this thing that is going on, which is
Mhm.
also a matter of importance to us. So it was a very interesting time.
Yes, and every challenge I think we have surpassed, and we have continuously been improving the structured trainings, and now you're ECRB head. So,
Yes.
from the working level, and then now an asset on how to continuously develop these structured trainings and keep it up to date. So that one
Yep.
is very important. And of course,
Yep.
we're very grateful. And of course, we're fortunate to have you here in Patch. So
My
everybody's
pleasure.
excited now to see your case study 5 years back. But before that, let's kick off with a number of questions that we would like to ask you. And so let's start it with question number one, which is this one. So, when did you take your APC and was it a good decision to do so?
All right. So I took my APC somewhere around May of 2021, but I started way way back. I think my APC journey started around 2013 or 2014 when I first attended P3T in Singapore. And then
Mm-hmm.
I've done P3T, and then I've done PAP1, and then there was some reflection that happened, and I think there was a recalibration of the goals and the timelines, because our AJ, I have a timeline during that time. So I
Yes.
just have to recalibrate the timeline and then just reorganize the goals. And so I stopped at PAP 1 in the structured training, and then I got accepted or I got accepted in law school, and
Mm-hmm.
which started where I started my LLM in RGU, and then that lasted for 3 years, and then after that, after graduation, because the degree, the LLM is accredited by RICS, then I used the accredited degree route instead. And then that was around June of 2020. And
Mm-hmm.
then I was supposed to sit for APC or for my final interview in and around October of 2020. But but it's it's very interesting. It's a very interesting time, as I have said. I was writing my dissertation while there's so much uncertainty around us. It's there's the During the height of COVID, I was writing my dissertation. I
Yes.
was able to complete my dissertation. My mental health was on the edge, and then after completing and graduating, I thought of using that momentum to carry me forward to my APC journey with RICS, but uh, it took a toll in my mental health. I felt like I was drained. Anxiety was so ripe, and
Oh,
I had to stop and to pause, and just basically regather myself and focus more on the more urgent or more pressing issues around my life during that time. So I had to pause
Mm-hmm.
the journey, and then I
Was
resumed. So I resumed the entire journey in around May of 2021, and then I got my final interview date, which is around June of 2021. So whether was it worth it? Yes. But I think the more important point that I want to express is life comes first. What you have to prioritize yourself. The APC journey is not easy. It's time consuming. It will consume your physical and mental energy. So you have to be prepared, and you have to really focus, because that really is the most important. Whether or not it's a good decision, it is a good decision, and it's something that I do not regret doing, because it will definitely help you move forward in your career.
But
wow.
it was an inspiring journey because it happened in the midst of the pandemic. And
Yes.
then you were doing your dissertation, and then you were having, I think you were an officer as well at the time
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, he is.
for PICQS secretary for Singapore, no?
No. communications, I think. Global
Communications.
communications. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
But looking on how you have tread through and then how you have fought for it, what finish what you have started, the motivation was there. And
Yep.
would you suggest or would you recommend going through LLM first on how you have done it? Would you recommend that route?
Um, I think would I recommend it? Definitely. If you have the financial and the time resources, no. Pero if not, then there are what's good about the APC is that it offers you a plethora of options of pathways. You know, so it's just so happened that I took that pathway because I believe it's shooting two birds in one
In
stone.
one, in
Because
one
of
stone.
the LLM, I'll be able to move closer to my dream of becoming a legal or at least an expert in construction law, and at the same time it hits my APC target because it's an accredited course. But you can also go for chartership first and then go for LLM. It's basic.
Yes.
It's just how you want to how you want your journey to go and
Mhm.
what you want to achieve.
So it depends on how you manage your time and your preference.
Yep. Yes, how you manage your time is very important because you have your work, your full-time work, you have family commitments. Me and my partner during those times, buti na lang COVID, so we were not able to go anywhere. So if you like traveling, if you want to go somewhere else, that will I believe take a back seat for a while
Mm-hmm.
because you have to prioritize all the writing and all the studying.
Mm-hmm. That's a very wonderful note. So it's no joke to partake in this
No,
journey. It's you
it's
need
not.
to have like 100% commitment.
Yep.
Definitely.
We make it look easy, but it's not. It's a lot of it's a combination of moving around things and giving up,
Hmm.
or just postponing some plans.
Yes. I'm sure I'll be waiting for Abba's turn to share his APC journey also.
Yep.
No?
He's
Wow.
up next.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's wait for it. It's going to happen.
It will happen. Okay. Now, thanks for answering that first breakup question. Now let's move to the second one. Go ahead, Abba.
Okay, so for our next question,
I saw.
as then a candidate, what were you expecting during your APC?
Of course, I was expecting to pass. I think that was the end goal. No, you, I was expecting and I wanted to pass. No, I think, and that's the reason why it took a toll on my mental health as well, because of my desire to
Mm-hmm.
pass and to overcome this hurdle, which is the final APC interview. During those times, it was we were transitioning. The RICS during that time is also transitioning because I believe me and Abba, our batches were the first few who did a purely online
Yeah, yeah.
APC
I remember
interview.
that time that we are in the midst of the pandemic. So the time you took your
Yep,
APC. So what was
yep.
your
So there's
They
expectation that
switched.
time? You
Yep,
switch.
they switched. So and then so you have to re-strategize on how you present yourself, how are you going to present your summaries of experience, you will present your case study, and then yeah, and at the end of it, after I think 3 days of not sleeping, the result came out, and it was really from the onset, from the start of my APC journey. I already know that it will be a good how do I say it? It's a good launch pad, if you will, of for my career. And now looking back,
Mm-hmm.
it really had helped me first in how I brand and how I present myself, because
Oh,
as a chartered surveyor, people or clients or your teammates give credence to what you say. It gives you credibility and
Yes.
the gravitas whenever you say something,
Uh-huh.
because you already have that chartered status. Also because RICS is a globally recognized qualification. So moving from Singapore to Australia, that really helped me when during my interviews and during my presentation of myself, so-called selling myself, because
Uh-huh.
whatever you say, again, you have that so-called badge or that gold standard where it it gives credibility to what you say. And
Mm-hmm.
of course it's a challenge as well, because it raises the bar with what is
Uh,
expect or what was expected from you. But again, that will help you move around places, because since it's a globally recognized qualification, so in terms of the mobility of talents, it will really help you if you plan to go around the world and
mm.
work there.
yeah. So you mentioned earlier, so there were those sleepless nights. You've tried to avoid your
Yes,
social life. You try
yes.
to distance
Did you?
yourself from your loved ones, even to your loved ones. And then, so
Yep.
do you think it's all worth it?
I think it's all worth it, because I'm so happy that I have a family that is very supportive, especially a partner who is very supportive, because he was with me all throughout, and he was the one who cheers me on as I tread and move along with my career. So yep, I think a part that's also something that I really want to
Value.
highlight is
Mm-hmm.
and value is the support from your
Yes.
loved ones,
Yeah,
and their understanding that
that is
for a
true.
specific period of time you will not, or you will be unable to function
Yes.
as a member of the family, just for a meantime, just for a short time, because that still is for the future. it's
Correct.
it's
Yes.
paving the way for a brighter and
Mm-hmm.
a more paving the way for a more how do I say it, bright future, or paving the way to hopefully an easier path towards career progression.
Yes. And having said that, no, having a solid foundation and a support group is very vital, no, because they will
Yes.
fill in the gaps. I say in your personal,
Mm,
emotional, and your motivation. They will fuel you to get you moving to what you want to achieve. So yes, that's very
yep.
nice.
And look at us now. This plus silver. This was our.
Team
This is
Simpson.
our. And up until now, our support group. The four of
Correct.
us and
Yeah,
Dimson as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Imagine
Yeah.
that.
We're
Adding
still
our
pulling each other.
adding our support group: Silver, AJ,
Mhm.
AC, Dimson. Yeah,
Yep. It really helps. It really helps a lot to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yes, correct. Agree. I totally agree with you on that. Because when you go and then find your pack and you have the
Hmm.
same goal, your tendency is to build each other up and to push
Yep.
each other going towards what we have as like the common goal,
Yep.
no?
Yep.
And it's the same goes for our organization, like how we tread, how the people inside the organization push for the development of all this, the structured trainings and the development of its members as well. So
Yep.
yes, thank you for that. So I think at this point, Abba,
okay,
we're
so let's go to our next segment. So our next segment is this case study presentation, which will surely inspire our
Yep.
PICQS members, especially those who are aspiring quantity surveyors, to take their APC. All ears
yes.
as JC delivers his case study presentation entitled Procurement of a Design and Build Renovation Contract. JC, you may now take it away.
All right, thanks. So, as a counselor and as a mentor, I always tell my mentees, no, you do not need a case study that is ultra complicated for it to qualify for a suitable case study for RICS, because my case study is, at least in my view, is a very simple one. It's a very straightforward. In fact, during my final interview, one of the comments that I got is that my case study was written very well, well enunciated, well explained, and they do not have any more questions. So on one hand, if you have a straightforward case study, you have a control of the narrative. You can write it clearly because you understand it and there's no complications about it. And in return, that would also give your assessors an easier time in understanding what your case study is. And the downside of that one is that, one, they cannot give you questions. So if your case study is straightforward, I always, or I sometimes suggest to leave some details purposely, without sacrificing or without sacrificing its ability to get accepted. And you're sort of leading your assessors to where you want them to go, and thereby you are getting more prepared at some point, or to an extent of what the questions will be. But I digressed. Sorry. So looking at the presentation today. So this was my case study. I just realized now my interview was 15th of May 2021. No, and this is
Okay.
my case study concerns a procurement of a design and build contract. So during my time, when I was still with my employer in Singapore, I was the client representative. So I was the point of contact between my company and the client. So when a need arose for a procurement of a contract where they need to renovate specific parts of their building. So that's when they went to me and said, "How can we do this? How can we realize this project?" So that's where we are at. So I intentionally made my presentation simple. It's clear. I always had my name on my slide so that they'll remember me. No, and then I made it simple that the font is big where I want there to focus. No, and of course my photo, because they need to remember they need to remember you after the interview. Right? You have to look professional. So that's even though it's hot in Singapore, I wore a turtleneck for this photo shoot. So
I love the way you pose there.
yeah, it looks more of like a real estate agent, if I'm being honest. But
But
so
that post has already been a part of a number of PICQS CPDs.
Yes.
yes, indeed. Some some The first page after the title page is where I set
Uh,
out the agenda, because remember, if you're watching this and you're planning to go for your APC, you have your narrative. This is your narrative. You can control how the information flows. So, and because
yes.
my style or my technique is that I wanted to sort of hold my assessor's hands and walk through them in my entire thought process. So by giving them a map of where we are going, they
Mm-hmm.
hopefully they felt comfortable and secure that, okay, this person knows what they're doing, and we can just listen and absorb what he's saying. Because remember, your assessors already read your case studies maybe more than once, or at least
Yes.
once, no, so they have an idea of what you are. or sorry, of what you are presenting. So I think take this is a tip. Now take your 10 minutes presentation as a way as a way for them to understand you more, and to understand your thought process. And basically they're also looking at how you present. Now, is it very is are you nervous, are you confident, is it professional, and so on. But in any case, so this is uh I broke down my presentation into the introduction, my approaches, my achievements, and conclusion, just four main points. But I think that will help you a lot. Of course, the introduction, I purposely, as you will see later on in my presentation, when it gets wordy, I intentionally uh s- put the font on a smaller, or I used smaller font, because I know they will not read it, and therefore they will just listen to me and just don't mind the presentation. No, and that's one of the strategies that I have to think of, because remember, during the pandemic, we were our batch are one of the few batches who are, or who went to a fully online interview, you know. So you can do that,
Yes.
but you cannot do that in if it's a face-to-face presentation, because you have a board where you flip your presentation. But in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
case, because it's already online, they can just look at their laptops.
Mm-hmm.
So in my introduction, I detailed what are the scope, or what's the scope of my responsibility is. Now, this will lay the grounds on on uh, on you demonstrating your level of competencies. You know, and at the same time, take this opportunity to really set the tone on what will be the submission. So a strong introduction will inspire confidence with the assessors, and they will uh, be more engaged throughout.
Mm-hmm.
So after my introduction, I, we're still on the now we're on the project background. So make sure that you give your project a context, so that you are putting them in that situation where it's as if they are in the meeting room when you presented this, right? So that's the project background. And then what are the objectives of the project? Because the objectives of the project is a very important consideration for me when I'm giving my advice, because that also rendered support and informed my recommendation on why we need to take a design and build procurement route. So then, of course, my approach, and as you can see, starting on this slide, I use the rule of thirds. You know, so if you look at it, I put so much strategy into it. Uh, I really studied how I will present it, because I want my assessors to listen to me and at the same time remain engaged. And I read somewhere that the rule of thirds really give that um, they make the readers more focused. No, your listeners or your viewers will make them more focused, and therefore, without doing much, you are able to retain their attention. So this is my approach. I identified the key issues, the first and the second, and of course the parameters. What were the limits to my recommendation? It's also important to show your assessors that you know your limits, so that you know you're not going beyond what they asked, you know, because the parameters is basically just their requirements, and also the parameters revolve around the objective of the project. So that was my first key issue, and then I decide the or I presented my approach on the first key issue, and with the options, starting with their advantages. No, and my first option is single stage traditional tendering. No, we know this is one of the most popular approaches. It's 84% of the RIBA members procure their contracts through traditional single stage traditional tendering. No, and then cost certainty, it's very important because my client during that time has a very limited budget. And of course, the design risk is also an important aspect because if the contractor, or sorry, if the client does not have the design risk, um, or has the design risk, they have more control on the cost because they can decide to downgrade the materials or the specifications and so on. So that was my first option. The second option is a single stage design and build tendering. So what this does is it cuts the time, the tendering time. Cost certainty will give way a bit because you no longer have the design risk and therefore you cannot control cost, or you cannot control cost certainty, at least to a certain extent. But the quality of the proposals will be increased, because the contractors will be putting their best foot forward, if you will, when they submit their proposals. So those are and then another key issue is how do we establish the design criteria. So it's basically uh, uh, the client, in essence, delegated the whole risk allocation to me. No, even the evaluation criteria, because as we all know, the three of us practiced in Singapore. We know that if uh, it's a government agency that procures a contract, we have to be really be mindful of the audit trail and be
Uh-huh.
transparent in our decision making. So that's one of the key considerations here as well. So first, I recommended the 70-30 proportion, no, 70% for the price and 30% for the quality. This also harkens back, or it goes back to the requirement of the client on cost certainty. If you give more credence, or if you give
Mhm.
more weight to the price, the contractor then, or the tender then, will have to strategize on how do we propose something that is also well within the budget, and it's just increases the value for money risk. And then
Mhm.
my second key issue is the 50-50 proportion, where the client will give weight on 50% for price and 50% for quality. What this signals is that the client is also concerned, or is going to look at the quality of the designs and the quality of the materials that is going to be used. Because as a government entity, um, their concern is the use of public funds wisely. So again, the value for money here is emphasized.
Yeah.
And then of course, my achievements. So what
Weightage.
are my recommendations, and the proportions. So I ended up recommending the single stage design and build procurement route, and for the proportion, it's the 50-50 proportion. Yep. So in conclusion, yep. So I was able to procure the works on time within the allocated tendering period. Client care is very important because the client, as my main stakeholder, I was able to let them or stay informed on the process, because as a consultant you cannot operate on your own. You also still need the consent and the approval of the client. No, so that's one thing that I was able to develop in this time. Areas for improvement, also this is very important when you are presenting your case study, is your case study is not perfect, and if you were in control, what were your areas for improvement? That gives, I believe, the principle of, I call it principle of charity, because you know for yourself that it's not perfect, and it will be critiqued. It makes you grounded. It makes you it makes you humble. But more than anything else, I believe what will the areas of improvement portion in your case study will do is that it it the assessors will have an idea or will have an impression that you are still in control of your project, of your narrative, because you were able to identify where it can be improved. No, it's sorry, I was lost for words. But in any case, that's the last, I think. Yep, that's the last thing. And then, of course, I enumerated what are the competencies that I met in this during this exercise. And of course, this is another way of bringing them into your case study is by providing photos of the project, no, so that they'll have an idea on what you talked about, and just really tangible, give them an idea of your tangible results, no? So that's where I finished or completed my case study. So it was 9 minutes and 30 seconds. The chair during that time already, or
Oh,
is supposed to give
you
me
finished
the
too
30
early, is
second
it?
warning. Yep. So I finished 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
So being under the 10-minute allowance is also okay. You don't have to be exactly 10 minutes when you do the
Yep.
presentation. But what's
Yep.
important is you don't exceed the time
Yep. I
allotted.
think
Sounds like because
be
he is
as
now a chartered quantity surveyor and even an assessor.
yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, true. Fair enough. I think it worked. But I think getting it closer to 10 minutes gives you consciousness, or gives the impression to your assessors that you're conscious of your time, you're conscious of your limit. It shows management. It doesn't show they kasi if you exceeded 10 minutes, then it might show clumsiness, unawareness of your limits. If you go, or if you just try to close it at, at around 10 minutes, then that shows management, and that will give a good impression that, okay, this person knows. And I applied that as well in my summaries of experience and case study, because I remember my case study, the limit was 3 not 30,000 3,000 words. My word count is 2,998. And then my summaries of experience, I believe my limit was 4,500. My total word count was 4,997 or 96. So
Oh,
it shows how you
wow.
manage. It shows how you manage your write-ups. You, it's an art,
What
Yes.
happened to the three
it's
words? I'm
You can
sorry.
my
sorry.
name. I just put my name in there, like, just to make it 4,000. But at the end of the day, the word count still it's sat at those. I had 2 and 3 balance, because it's writing is an art. Writing concisely is a skill, because you need to write in as little words as possible without losing the details. And I always tell that to anyone. Manage your word count, because it shows control, and then at the
Yes.
same time it shows your awareness on your limitations as a candidate.
Yes. It's
And
like
yeah, there you have it.
a subtle statement of compliance, no?
Yes, yes, it
It's
is.
not a hard number, but as long as you're within that, you're putting your limits to yourself, and also you're demonstrating that you are able to comply with what is required.
Exactly. Yep.
Very great. So the key takeaway from case study of Jose here is you don't need a very complex
Complicated.
scenario or a very complex
Yep.
case study for you to demonstrate on how you have gone through the through and exercise the
Agree.
competencies required for you to prove
Yep.
that you are
Yep.
chartered, you're of a chartered or a certified professional quality.
Yep.
Great, great presentation. Do you have
Thank
anything?
you.
Would you like to add in anything, Abraham?
Um, yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, it does not have to be complicated. That's what I
Hmm.
see, and even I heard some other case studies that they say that are very simple. I even heard case studies about no, I don't have to say that. It's from other schools.
Confidentiality agreements,
Confidentiality, yeah.
NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
Thank you, thank you.
So that's the part where you withhold the information that you have and you would like to share, and then you realize that, oops, okay, we
Oops,
stop here.
yeah,
Okay.
The downside of being a counselor, because you cannot talk about what your mentees, or what the submissions you've seen. You cannot talk about
yeah,
them in
yeah, true.
public because those are covered by NDAs. So
Yes.
Thanks for reminding me.
We're given the eye. Like, Abba, stop. You're about to breach the confidence, the NDA that you signed.
yep, almost.
But yeah, we need to give him that because it's already what 9 p.m. 10 in
Yes.
Canada. So
Yeah, 10 p.m. Turning
Yep.
10 p.m. It means to
so
10.
yes, thank you very much, Jose, for sharing your case study and giving us a walkthrough and the tips of what to do and what not to do. So it's very
Yep.
helpful, and then I'm sure a lot of us here were able to pick up their own key takeaways from your case study. Before we conclude our program for tonight, our patch session, we have like two more questions to ask you, because after you've become a candidate, then it didn't stop you from going even further. No, it
Yep.
mean to some people, after I've attained that, okay, I already chartered, done. Thank you, PICQS. Bye. But then you didn't stop there.
Mm.
You've even become more active. Now you're serving as the national vice president of PICQS, and you have been even in the background, with or without uh, being an officer. You have been mentoring people. You have been giving mock interviews, being part of PMLA. So, why have you been doing this? Why are you mentoring APC candidates?
Um, that's a very good question, because I also sometimes ask myself, when do I stop? No, when do I stop?
Not that you regret, no?
Yeah, or
Not that you
when
regret.
will? Not that I regret, but sometimes, as we grow older, and as our priorities shift, along the way, you're not able to give back as much as you can, as compared to before. So sometimes I also ask myself, when do I stop, or when will I stop? But again, I think I'll still continue. Or let's start with the first question, which what motivates me, because I think being involved with PICQS for almost a decade now, I seen firsthand the need, and there's an opportunity for us, uh, to to push ourselves, and to aspire for excellence, and to be, or to put ourselves at par with our foreign counterparts. Because the the market, or the industry, is getting more and more competitive, and one of the reasons I also can empathize, or can felt this, is that we need to be more competitive. We have to have an edge, no, because at the end of the day, when when applying for a job, or when just with anything, if there are two candidates left, and you have a chartership while the others don't. But other than that, you have the same levels of experience, the same skill set, and everything. I think the 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 employer will lean towards the chartered because
Mhm.
again, being chartered brings with it a lot of things. No, you are regulated, you are subject to ethics, uh, ethical standards of the organization or the professional organization that you're in. But also at the same time, what motivates me is because I I can see that there's a need. No, I can and I would like to be that bridge um, between between the one who aspires, the one who dreams, and the dream itself. And I want to be that conduit. I want to be that link for them to know to realize what they want because I understand not everyone is doing this for career growth, but rather for branding and for personal fulfillment. So whatever your goal is, whatever your aspiration or whatever your motivation in wanting to get yourself chartered,
Or
I'm
is it just is it's your passion to help others become successful?
I think so. I mean, I'm not claiming that I'm passionate, but it's just that I just I
That's how
think
I
yeah
see it,
yeah.
to be
Thank
honest.
you thank you
Yeah.
for that.
The
I think
living
it's my
witness.
passion. Yes, I think it's my passion. Yeah, at some point yes, to a certain degree, but also I just enjoy seeing people succeed. You know, just seeing people cross the line. And I was there. I was a part of the journey on
Mhm.
how they crossed the line. That just I'm just as proud as them when they achieved what they wanted to achieve. So,
Wow.
and I think that's
Are you proud of me
that's
then?
of course you know how proud I am because of
Are
you.
you
No,
proud of me then?
I know I know your circumstances when you sat on your APC, and I just when I look back, I also tell myself I might have not done it if I was in your shoes during that time. So yes, I'm very proud of you, and I'm
Yeah.
very proud of you, Arlene,
Thank
as well.
you.
You know how far we've come.
Thank you.
You
I
know,
can still remember after my APC. I've been waiting for my APC result. I think it passed the number of days that I have to wait. So I was bothering Silver, my counselor, and yourself, JC, day and night. I was calling you that time. Do you remember that?
yep,
Yeah, I'm sharing my
and
agony waiting for the result of my
yep.
APC.
And the
Yeah,
funny
so
thing is, and the funny thing is that I already know the result because I already went to find the member in RICS website, and you're already there. But I
uh,
cannot tell. I cannot,
I
and
know that.
wow,
I
thank you.
I did not. I sent a screenshot of that to you, AJ. Diba? Na,
Yes.
I already texted you. I already know pumasa si Aba, but we cannot tell him this. Let's not rain on his parade. But we already know. So no, when I was telling you, no, just calm down and everything. We already know that you passed. It's just that we cannot tell you go to the website
Yeah, but you
and
still remember that, right? Night and
yep
day,
yep
I'll be calling you. You
yeah
already know. You already know.
yes we
Dami-dami na
already
to. Hearing my agony.
yeah
The agony of waiting.
Yeah.
yes it's a long 5 working days. I think that's the longest 5 working days of my life. And that's
But
what
it
I
was
did for
all worth
myself as well. No? Before I received the actual announcement, that's what I did. Let me go to the find my members in IRCS. Type my name. It's already there. Like,
Wow.
yes, but I'm not yet sure. I have to wait. I have to wait for the letter from RICS to announce to everyone that I passed.
it.
Who's the
Yes, you
very
have to
first
wait for
one?
the official one, no?
Who's the very
Yeah,
first one you informed that you passed the APC?
yung group chat natin, yung the three of us. I think that's the first one that that I texted, and it was surreal, to be honest with you. It was, no matter how much, no matter how much you want it, no, and no matter how much confidence you've got, after
Yes.
that final interview, after they said, okay, goodbye, you can now leave, the teams. That is very, very nerve wracking, because
Mm-hmm.
if you cannot, if you will not control yourself, you'll just go to a rabbit hole and spiral down with your anxiety and
Uh-huh.
with all the negative thoughts, because, oh, I know I missed this question, I know I did not answer this question, I know I did not answer this question.
Mm.
And that will just stay with you you
The results are
until
out.
you receive your results. And that's what Abba did. Like, parang di yata ako sure. Mali yung sinagot ko dito. Mali yung sinagot.
Yeah, true.
Just
Every
calm
day I
down.
was thinking of
Every day
that.
you were
I hate
remembering a
that
different
feeling.
question with the
Yes,
wrong answer. So
yeah. I keep on
Would you
thinking that.
suggest would you suggest to just put it on the side, like after you're done with the APC interview, just forget about it and don't think.
That's
as much as
exactly
possible,
what they
forget
advised
about it.
me. That's exactly
If you
what
can
they
s-
advised me.
if you can sleep for 5 days without waking up, and then just wake up on the fifth day, if you can do that, then do that.
That would be a long wait, no? The agony
Yep,
of
that's
waiting starts
yep,
like the moment that you leave the Teams meeting or the APC
yep,
interview.
yep.
If you're
After they asked me to leave the Microsoft Teams, I quickly grabbed my index cards, because I have an index cards of my
uh-huh,
competency. You know, I
Trying to
have index
remember.
cards. Did I
stacked up.
answer this correctly? Did I correctly reference the project, and so on and so forth? And that's a tip for everyone as well. Make index cards, or make your summaries of experience accessible to you. You know, whether on phone, or because my brain responds to hard copy. So
Uh-huh.
I printed my summaries of experience, then pasted them on index cards, and put my notes in there. So whenever I go to work, I read those. Whenever I have a free time, I read those, flip, flip, because you can never
Mhm.
too prepared.
Yes, you can never be too prepared, no? It's good to
Yep,
have those at the back of your mind rather than
yep,
being asked and then, oops, I cannot recollect whatever I've written,
yep.
and
Because,
that
yeah,
would
because
really.
I think what's the most important thing that you need to demonstrate is that you have control of your narrative, whether or not they read your summaries of experience, left to right or
Mhm.
right to left, back and front.
Uh-huh.
Whatever question they throw at you, you have to demonstrate, or you at least have to show them that you're confident and you know what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, that's your experience, that's your narrative, that's your story.
Correct. So the best way is not to invent anything. That whatever you've written in your SOE, you have to make sure that you've really
Yep,
experienced them firsthand, and
yep,
then or that you know the story behind it. So
yep,
when you are asked of this certain competency, then you can definitely deliver.
yep.
Yeah. Thank you. But I think Abba has the last question on
Okay.
after being a mentor because he still didn't stop. So
Yeah, so here's my next question. So, why did you opt to become an assessor? So, some people are struggling to juggle personal life and work, and I understand that you are an advocate of the profession, giving lectures, a trainer, a counselor, you speak in conferences, which I think takes much of you to manage. So, why becoming an assessor?
I think one of my motivations to or one of my motivations in becoming an assessor, or wanting to be an assessor, is I want to be one of the safeguards of the profession. No, I wanted to play an active role in making sure that the profession and the quality of the quantity surveyors that comes out is maintained. And at the same time, I want to have an idea of what an assessor is, because then when I counsel my candidates, I know I have a point of view of what an assessor is, or what an assessor
Looking
is
for.
looking for, and
Mhm.
I can help my mentee to amend or to write their summaries of experience based on what an assessor is expecting. So it's a double, it's a again shooting two birds with one stone. No, as an assessor, you have your point of view when you assess, and at the same time, you have your you can how do I say that? You can move, or you can lend that point of view to your candidate when they are writing their summaries of experience, because then you can target what are the specifics, um, specific details that you're looking at or you're looking for when
So,
assessing.
so as an assessor, what do you expect from candidates? So this is something vital to our listeners preparing for the APC. So
Yep.
what do you expect from them?
If, if, sorry, may pa-contract talaga.
Hold on. It played. Okay. It's a
So
more
if you are
suspense.
watching this, if you are watching this and you are not yet my ano, you are not my mentee, I
Hmm.
think ano nga ulit yung tanong?
What what do you expect from candidates as an
I
assessor?
think, yep, I think what I'm expecting from the candidate is one, confidence. Because
Something very
you need to
important.
demonstrate that you are confident in what you're doing, because it inspire confidence will inspire the assessor and put them in a very good position to listen to you. Kasi when you're uncomfortable, that translates to assessor as well. So magiging we will be uncomfortable as well. So one, that's one. Number two, the structure of the write-ups. No? If you've attended one of my first and only GAMP session, I've written there, or I've presented there a formula that the candidates may want to uh, apply when writing their competencies, because I think a structure is needed, because again, this is a narrative, and sometimes we're engineers, we're not English majors,
Majors.
so
Yes.
sometimes we even myself, even I myself, up until now, I still struggle with my writing style. No, so by providing a formula, or by having a structure, you're able to communicate your narrative or your messaging quite well. No, so for example, in level one, mostly that will just be your source of knowledge, and then what is your understanding of that knowledge, those kind of things. Level one answers the question what. No, so yun yung those are the pointers that I give my candidates or my mentees. No, it's a structure. And then third, I want, or I expect the candidate to know theirs their summaries of experience like the palm of their hand. Because that inspires, or that will let us know that it's you who've written your it's you who've written your case study, your summaries of experience, and not someone else.
That's a very good thing to note,
Wow.
no? You
Mm.
have to, on how you, one is how you're going to write your SOEs. The next thing
Yeah.
is to ensure that you remember whatever you've written.
Yes,
And of course,
very
structure
important.
follows. And then it shows how articulate, or how you have managed, how you have
Yep,
achieved level one, level two, level three. That's why you're
yep,
looking for structure. Yeah.
yep,
But it's also nice thing what, to summarize what Jose or what JC has been sharing with us. He strived. He wanted to become an assessor, to be even a better mentor for his
yep,
mentee.
yep,
So so it's like you're trying to you're challenging yourself to become a better person because you want to be able to share more to other people on how they're going to benefit from this one. So it's very selfless, and we're grateful for that.
Thank
Actually,
you.
it's not just me. Some people are with waving here and saying thank you for being a great mentor, Sir JC,
Oh,
Wow.
thank you.
from
Thank you,
Antoinette.
Antoinette.
Oh.
And Eric here, Rick Bucklig says, great approach for the case study. This is very helpful episode of Patch. Thank you, JC, for
Thank
extending
you.
your support to those who are in need. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Eric.
Yeah. So we are going towards the end of our patch session this afternoon or this morning. Thank you very much, Jose, for sharing your case study and giving us a walkthrough, and not just from the perspective of a candidate, but also from a mentor and an assessor as well. I believe all our viewers have a lot of key takeaways from what you've shared with us today. And would you like to share something or your few words for our viewers and our hoping to be our aspirants to become chartered and certified professionals?
All right. Um, Time flies, no, no. Ang tagal na pala natin nag-uusap.
Yes.
But if there are some words that I want to leave your or to leave our candidates or our aspiring candidates is it's hard. The APC journey is challenging. It's not easy, but it's doable. Um, and if I leave you with one thing, and I want to quote John Lennon. John Lennon, Beatles. That shows my age.
Okay.
The line is they said I'm a dreamer, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
the only one. No, surround yourself with like-minded people. Create your tribe. Belong to go to a group that shares your vision because it will help you in achieving your goals. And just knowing what you want, set your eyes on the prize, set your eyes on the goal, and then work towards it. Because that's very important. Because sometimes along the way you'll feel lost, along the way you'll feel discouraged, along the way you'll feel hopeless. But if you get your eyes, or if you set your eyes on the goal, you work towards it. Baby steps. If you feel like tired, take a rest. Acknowledge your challenges, the adversities that you're handling. Take a rest, pause, regather, and then if you're feeling better, then move on. You do not need like strides, big strides. Just baby steps will do, so long as you're moving closer towards it. No? And do not give up. I think if there's one thing that I always tell people, and I'm getting emotional, is don't give up, because in anything in life, just keep on pushing through. No, it will be difficult, it will be hard, but you'll eventually get there. And when you get there, don't forget to look back and help other people who are still behind you doing the journey, because if you cross the line and you do not help the people behind, it will be lonely. It will be lonely up there. No, take as much people as you can, bring them, or help them cross the finish line as well. The more, the merrier. No, so
I like the more the merrier.
yep, the more, the merrier. No, just once you once you get there, no, just drag people, even if they don't. I, Arlene, that's for you. Even if
Ah,
ayaw na nila, drag them by their hair or by, by their clothes. No?
By the hair talaga.
Uh, sa bunutan nyo sila, hilahin nyo sila towards the finish line. And it doesn't mean, or that doesn't mean that you need to cross the finish line just to do that. Even while you're still on your journey, make sure, no, okay, nandiyan pa ba kayo? Are you still there? Let's go. Let's do this
Let's go
together.
together. Huh?
Yep. And
It's
that's
very
it makes
inspiring.
it makes the whole process, the whole journey fun because you're not suffering alone.
Definitely. Share the success, share the agony as well, no?
Yeah, of course.
Damay-damay na to.
Yep.
Yes. This is a shout out to everybody who is about who are about to take their and sit on their APC. I think we know a few people who are about to sit.
There's someone watching here. I think I just saw them. Yeah, I think na-feel nila yun. Na-feel nila yun talagang I dragged them, from where they are. Like, come on.
Mm.
Asa na? I always ask, okay, deadline today. Nasa na tayo? Where's the submission?
Thank you for giving that extra push, no? I think kasi
Yep.
that's what everybody needs. A certain
Yep.
push, a certain motivation. It doesn't stop there on the on being inspired because one, yes, all of us have our own priorities on how we want to manage our schedule. It's tough. But yes, whenever we have or whenever I hear from personal experience. Whenever I hear you, Aba and Silver say, "Okay, give it a little push. Try and give some time to it. Focus on it. Focus on the goal." So one by one, we get there, step by step. Yes, and all the
Yep.
best to our journeys because it never
Yep.
stops. Learning never stops. Challenges never stop.
Yep. And
Ava,
sometimes not really push lang yung kailangan. Sometimes it's just a nudge, no? Just to make sure
yes.
we're moving. And it's an amazing journey. I mean, look at us.
Mhm.
Because of this journey, it brought us, the four of us or the five of us, closer together.
Yes.
And I believe in what people can do. When
Mhm.
I push people, because I push them because I know they can make it. I know that they have the capacity to cross the line. And that's for the two of you. Nakita ko nandito sila kanina. I know you can do it, so just don't give up on it. Go lang.
That's
Go
for the
lang
two
ng
of.
go.
Would you like to mention the names? No.
No, may NDA ako.
It's a test.
Non-disclosure.
Okay. Abba, would you like to have a few words to our viewers? And thank you once again for being part of our patch. And I hope this is not the first and the last.
Wow. Anyway, so there's so many key takeaways here. So, but the best one that I really love is there are really people just like JC who really have passion in helping others become successful. So, it's indeed
Oh,
something that resonates me because I'm one of the living witnesses that I could say that you truly are doing that. So I could still recollect how you helped me during my APC, and I will always be grateful for that. So myself, as a counselor like you, I'm also conducting mocks for those preparing for final interview. I would say that I've learned so much today from you. So insights,
thank you.
advice
That's
that I
good.
could also give to the candidates I mentor and even to those reaching out for mock interviews as well. So we can thank you enough to for taking the
Uh,
time to be our guest here in Patch. Thank you, thank you,
my
thank you,
pleasure.
JC. We really appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. Thank you very much, JC, for being part of Patch and for finally sharing um, your case study with everybody. No, this is a long wait because I've been eager to have this moment and to share the case study, but I think there's no perfect timing than now. So we're really grateful for the time that you have given us, given Patch, given everybody to share this. It's a very insightful case study, and your experience is also, it mirrors your passion, and also we are the passion and the objective and vision of our organization. I think there's just a message from Rick. Congratulations, JC, Arlene, Abba, for this episode. Thank you, Eric,
Wow.
Thank
for
Thank
you.
your
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Eric.
Eric.
unwavering support, and thank you. We're hoping that a lot of attendees or a lot of APC candidates would be able to benefit from what we are trying to compile here in Patch. It's an easy access to the case studies of our successful aspirants or APC candidates. Yes, and of course, as members of PICQS, we the membership doesn't stop in just being a member. Invest in yourself, continue with the structured training, progress. That's including the little steps that we're taking towards being certified professional or being chartered professionals. Ayan. But without with this, we bid au revoir. See see
Au
you
revoir.
again soon. We thank you for your time for being with us here in Patch, and see you in the next Patch session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Bye
JC.
bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, JC.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a good weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all
Oh,
the
by the
mothers.
Happy Mother's
way,
Day. Happy
Trust
Mother's Day,
AJ, happy Mother's Day.
Thank
AJ,
you,
and
thank
Happy
you.
Mother's Day, Princess.
Before we let you go, we're gonna say I love you. No, we're gonna share JC's JC's quotable quote. Here it goes.
Philippine Institute of Certified Quantity Surveyors or PICQS brings you PICQS APC Talks channel or Patch. Join your hosts AJ Paredes and Abraham Ruedas as they share with you an exclusive live interview with PICQS National Vice President, Engineer Jose Carlo Padilla. We will give your Sunday morning a dose of APC as he shares his career journey and APC experience from a candidate and assessor's perspective. All these and more on Sunday, 12 May, 11 a.m. Manila time.